Lochan, I've been trying to get the lighting right. It's just too bright. My room is just too bright. Um, oh, I think it's getting better, much better. Angazi bangelwa yini uD. Okay, it's fine. Right. So, got asked? No, I did not. Well, I remember last year when I started training. Someone asked me, "Uti, why are you training? What's your reason for training?" Yeah. Well, I do not have a fixed answer. You know, I do not have a fixed answer. I think I have had different reasons for training based on where I am at in my life, physically, not physically, yeah, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Yes. So I'm just going to tell you why I started training. But the reason has, jeez, smells bad. I have to wash it. But the reason have changed. Now going back to first reason why I started training. One, I didn't like the way I looked. I had very low self-esteem. I didn't like how I looked. I I just don't want to say hate, man. Hate is such a strong word, but to a great extent, that's what you can say. You can say that I hated myself. I mean, just because you hate yourself, like, ugh, I can't do that. Come on. And I wanted to be better. I wanted to be a better version of myself. I think everyone starts working out, doing whatever thing, whatever sports, whatever extracurricular activity that makes them feel good, that and challenges them, is that they start with not liking themselves. They start with wanting to do better for themselves, right? So backstory: I grew up as, I'm gonna say, obese or a fat kid, if you can put it like that. And people seems like, I was like, but no, you've never been a fat kid. Chief, when I was in grade six, right? I was wearing size 30. Not even grade six, grade two. I was wearing, no, not grade two. Geez, grade four, I mean. I'm saying grade four, I remember grade four because we're taught by Mims Kosan, right? And I think I just had met my friend then, you know. Yes, from grade four to grade five, six, I was wearing size 32. Now, tell me, is that normal for a kid? I was big. I know, like, got to a point in grade six where my my school uniform, my trousers, like nothing fit me properly. If I had clothes, maybe they'll fit me good for like first 2 months. Then it's small. I think it also goes back to the thing that I'm not so, not that I can't dress, but I have never really invested in clothing. I think it's because of mainly how I grew up. So it wasn't like something really I was concerned with how I looked like, because hey man, I didn't like how clothes looked at me in the first place to begin with. So it was never really something I invested in, right? Now, going back, that thing, that grade six to grade seven, somewhere there, where 34 was too big for me, right? But 32 was too small. So my mom had to, like cut off like certain parts from here, like this say from this part, like she cut it, then extend it with like other fabrics. Yes, I know. Um, Shout out to my mom, man. Shout out to my mom. I love her very much. I love her very much. Now, and you could say I have pretty much been overweight for a good majority of my life. Going from grade 8, I started grade 8, grade 9. Apparently, I started losing weight around grade 9, grade 8, grade 9. I do not know what happened. Maybe it was like puberty. I remember the times where we were like, oh, okay, or maybe it was just stress. I don't know. I genuinely think it was like puberty. That happened. Yeah, but like when you grow up, like as a fat kid, people make fun of you, and it's it's really not fun. It's so not fun. It does hit your self-esteem. Like ever since I was like a kid, I've always wanted to be jacked. You know, I've always wanted to be jacked. But back home, you let me try to exercise. I was like, what are you doing, that? You're fine. But I didn't like how I was, you see. And I am glad that I'm able to affect those changes. I mean, I'm not where I want to be. Like I'm wearing a hoodie, you know. It's funny how that the same clothes that I used to wear in primary are the clothes that I still have. Some of them I still wear today. And when I tell people this, like, no, you're lying. It's like, Chief, I've worn the same size ever since I was a kid. And my mom had this tendency of saying, Uzokhula nayo. She buys clothing for me and my brother, like, Bazokhula now. I remember having a conversation with my mom. It's like, hey, remember you said this? And vele, sikhule nazo impahla ezo, you know? But hey, man, I think it's just one of those things when you don't have like much money, and yeah, man, you're just trying to eliminate costs. So you're buying clothes for your kids, knowing them after 5 years they'll still fit them. Me, after 10, 15 years, those clothes still fit me. They still do, right? I am not mad at that. I'm genuinely not. I still have like my chinos, like my aunt got from me. Um, grade 7, grade 7. They still fit me. I still wear them on campus. And it sucks that you can't find that type of clothing anymore. But anyway, so I wanted to be a better version of myself, to feel good about myself, to yeah, very much. Then I met with the gang. At the gym. When you're at the gym, you make friends. I think it's one of my superpowers, if you could call it that. Blessing, that's what he said. Shout out to you, Blessing. He said that I have like this ability to start up conversations and make friends or acquaintances like that. And I'm leaning towards that. I'm leaning towards that because I understand the value and the importance of forming relationships with people, you know. So I form you meet these people, you form close bonds with them. You Okay, I'm not that close, but I know them, you know. Not yet. I'm not close yet, but it's I know them. I have like some interesting conversations with them, and you start talking to them. It's like, hey man, well, why did you start training? Even conversations far beyond that about some random stuff, some interesting stuff. Hey man, like I am friends with this guy in our school. He's doing like quantum mechanics. He's doing his PhD in quantum mechanics, and I was like, what, dude? That is so cool that you're doing quantum mechanics. Like I wanted to do that as a kid, right? But tells like, no man, it's an academic degree. I had something that has job security, but I was like so stoked. It was like, jeez, man. And the brother's like super jacked, which is anime, and he is flipping doing quantum mechanics. It's one of my favorite people. Or it's also like Oaks like Bossy, Spusi, so shout out to them, man. Nkateo if in case he gets mad. And SK, man, love those brothers. But I first met like Kusia last year, because I knew him from Res, but not like that. It's like there's a familiar face. When they would train together, teach me some stuff. I'm still learning, I'm still learning from the big guys in the gym how to do certain stuff. It's one thing I realized about going to the gym is that um because you go there with the intention of wanting to do better than you did yesterday. Therefore you will also learn how to do better or how to do certain things better. Like I thought like I was benching properly until Rashid, I hope I'm not butchering his name, until Rashid came to me. I asked him for a spot. It was like, hey man, you know what you need to do is just like how I showed you when you're doing the pull thingy, the the not the pull up machine, but the pull down machine. You use the same principle where you engage your lats so that you in a 45-degree angle. And he said I must stop using the suicide grip because when I bench, I put the bar here and I just do like this because that's how I feel I'm strongest. But you know, I'm learning. I'll get there. Right now, yes, I'm talking about those people about Sia, and as I was training with Sia, I said to myself, hey, you know what? I want to see who the person who I am going to be after this. I wanted to put a timeline on it. And brother said, no, man, you can't put a timeline on this thing. You're constantly growing. And I can now vividly and clearly say that I'm not the same person where I was last year. I'm not the same person who I was 2 years ago. I'm not the same person who I was in high school. Yeah, that's what I think. I do see growth. I do see change. Even though there's still some behaviors that are still detrimental to me that I still do, which kind of sucks. But I am learning to be better. Second reason, yeah, that speaks to don't this reason why. And again, man, like, look, I was pretty hard to say on on a, on on a public platform, but I have kind of like what do you call pubis and kind of, and for good reason, for a good majority of my life, I thought that was because like I was fat, I did lose the weight, but it was still there, you know. And I think I would have not known this if someone at the gym again, also with my own research. It's like, hey man, this is what you have. One way to fix it is possibly get surgery. I'm like, I don't have the money for surgery yet, but it's not something that's affecting my self-esteem that much. It used to, but now it's like, hey man, that is how I am. It's not something I can change, so why bother, what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I oh yes, just a tangent. I do think I've gotten increasingly better at speaking. Yeah. Shout out, stay frosty. Peace.